because I wasn't here for rehearsal during the afternoon, but I'm assured they are quite outstanding, and it's a completely new departure for us on The Late Late Show. They are brand new to the scene, first time on television, and I'd like you to give it with a very well-known song with Frank McNamara on piano. I'd like you to give a big welcome to the two Zeds. Very special. Here they are. Who are they?
Woo! Yeah! Kenneth, Frankie! Woo! Yeah! Mercy! When I found my thrill! Yeah, you found it! On Blueberry Hill! On the Blueberry Hill! On Blueberry Hill! On Blueberry Hill! Where I found you! You found me! So still! It's just still! On Blueberry Hill! On the Blueberry Hill! It lingered until... It lingered until... It came true! They came true! The wind in the willows played the sweet melody.
All right, stop. Okay, stop.
Mr. Burns, Mr. Burns!
Stop!
You're putting my friend off. He's going out of tune.
I just went into an E there.
Stop!
Oh, dear. Frank, could you... Listen, you'll have to polish
Will
up a
you
little
pay
bit. You should be
attention?
playing those black keys as well. Yeah, with two hands this time. Two hands.
Will you pay attention to me, both of you? I wasn't told that you were coming on this show. I was told it was a brand new act, first time on television, the two Zeds. If I'd known it was you two, I wouldn't have allowed you on.
Oh, thanks
Gay.
very much.
Gay,
Although I
I
have to
changed
say-
my shirt.
What?
Yeah.
We're new.
We're new.
I'm new.
I have to admit,
Brothers.
I have to admit grudgingly that it wasn't a bad song. It's an old favorite of mine. You weren't doing it too badly.
Of course.
But
Brilliant.
I know you're up to something. I know.
What?
I know you're both up to something. You're not here for nothing. I know very well you're plotting something.
Gay Burn.
Yes?
Shays L'amour.
What?
How could you say such a thing?
I am hurt. You think we're up to a bit of mischief, don't you, guys?
We could have went on Mr. Kenny's show, you know.
Because-
That's on a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was crying out for us.
Yeah.
Not gay. We decided just to come on and
Yeah.
sing a song.
Gay, do you never get out on a Friday night? Or
Yeah.
You're lying. You're lying, both of you. You're lying. I know you're lying.
What?
Yes.
No, we're not.
I know what it is.
What is it?
I know what it is. Why didn't I think of it before?
What is it, Frank?
Would you put that book down, you? You put that book down. Put it down. Put it down. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about. You want a plug.
Sorry,
You want a
back,
plug
back,
for your.
back,
You want a plug for your book. That's what it's about, isn't it? You thought you'd sneak on this Late Late Show and get a cheap plug for your book when it's not going to happen. I can tell you that.
Bonjour, chez le Bosch.
Champs-Élysées l'amour.
It is not.
I have...
Plug our book. Come on
It is
here.
not going to happen, I can tell you. You're not going to plug the book on this show, I can tell you that. There's too much plug.
What book is that?
Your rotten book, the rotten book of rotten jokes that you have out at the moment. It's a ridiculous book. And if you think I'm going to plug that for you on this show, you're making a mistake, I
I
can tell
don't
you that.
remember that book. What book is that, Gay?
Hey, you know very well what book it is, don't
No, I can't remember.
Don't prevaricate with me. You know very well what
Is it
you're
about prevaricating or something?
No, it's not about
gardening.
prevaricating.
It's about gardening.
No, it's not.
Isn't
It's
it? Gardening.
It's
I
a
don't
joke.
remember. What's the name of it then?
I have it here. It's a joke book. Do you want me to
That's not
tell them?
familiar.
Do you want me to tell our audience what some of the jokes are in your book? Okay, I'll tell them.
Yeah,
I'll
okay.
tell them.
Yeah.
Wait.
See, you can remind us,
Okay,
Gay.
yeah, no,
remind us.
I'm not
I've
going to remind you
forgotten.
of anything. You're not going to lure me into a trap like that.
course
Just
not.
listen to it.
No,
Just listen.
Yeah, could you just
Just-
a little higher, Gay?
Just listen.
Sorry,
Just
cover.
listen.
Yeah,
Just-
cover.
Will you please stay
Sorry,
quiet?
Okay.
What? Here's a joke from their joke book. What's 10 feet tall, pink and smelly? Answer, a pig on stilts. Isn't that the most ridiculous
that one.
nonsense
It's
you've
very good,
ever
though,
heard in
isn't
your
it?
life?
Very good. Very.
Here's another one. Of all the pathetic where do Zig and Zag leave their Zogmobile? Answer, at parking meteors.
Frank, did you like that one?
This is supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be funny. Well,
Cover a little higher. Sorry, okay.
Lift the cover.
Of all the immature, puerile, student rag rubbish you've ever come. Listen to this. Just listen to it. Listen. What do outer space eggs hate to see? Answer, unidentified frying omelets. Of all the pathetic pathetic nonsense you ever heard in your life.
Gay, it
What?
wouldn't be this book. You know this book.
What book?
Roll it there, Roisin, please.
Yeah, roll it, Roisin.
It wouldn't be this book, would
What
it?
book are you talking about?
That book. Yeah, that book there. Oh, the Fridge in the Devil's
Just a minute.
Record, which is available nationwide in all your shops for that value. It's absolutely brilliant.
Cease! Stop it! Where did that slide come from? Roisin, get rid of that slide at once. How dare you? That's there without my permission. You are in dire trouble about this. I'm going to talk to the DG about you two. I'm going to talk to Mr. Dempsey about you. I'm going to talk to everybody. You're finished. You're done with. And if you think I'm going to say anything further about this pathetic, ridiculous...
We only came on, Gay, to sing a song.
Ridiculous
We
joke.
didn't bring up the book at all, Mr. Burns, Sir Majesty.
Where...
Mr. Burns, Sir Majesty.
Where do you find giant snails answer at the end of giant's fingers? What?
I love that one. I love that one.
I've never come across anything like that. What are you talking about singing a song? Okay, a song now.
Gay, can I ask you one?
What?
Why did the lobster blush?
Yeah.
Why did the lobster what?
Blush.
Why did the lobster blush?
Because of seaweed. That's a little rude. Frank, that was a bit rude.
Don't encourage them. Stop it. Stop it. I forbid you. I forbid you to applaud. Stop that.
Okay, you have to do the song.
I'm telling you this.
Okay.
There's no vegetables for you either, I can tell you. You just blotted your copybook. What are you, you're going to sing? A real song. A real song now.
The real song?
No. Now listen.
I am hurt.
No messing this time.
No,
We want a
we're
real
gonna
song.
do the song.
A real song. Okay,
no,
a real
we came
song.
on. We wrote this
Now,
song
on your-
especially for tonight.
On your-
Especially for
Gary, we did not come on to plug our book.
On
No,
your-
we didn't.
How could he
We are going to do the
On your
song.
word of honor. On your word of honor, a real song. Okay, word of honor.
course.
Okay, all right. On condition that it's on your word of honor and it's a real song.
Frank, take it away, please.
Okay, yeah,
Thank you.
okay.
Ladies
No,
and
no
gentlemen,
more book.
our new song.
New song.
Buy our book, buy our book, buy our book. Buy our book, buy our book. Sing that song.
How dare you?
Now it's only for
Get them all. Get them all.
And it's called the Fridge in the
Get them all. Come on, get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Get them all. Listen to this. We're going to talk about... He's 28 years of age. He has formed his own theatre company. He's in Dublin this weekend, to sign his own book, his biography, his autobiography. He's making arrangements for the premiere at the end of October for Henry V, his film. He's directing in the Theatre Festival John Sessions in a show about Napoleon. He's formed his own theatre group, the Renaissance. He's taken Henry V, the great Shakespearean classic. He adapted it. He directed the movie. He starred in the movie opposite his own wife. This guy has packed more into the last 10 years of his theatrical career than most people dream of doing in a lifetime. And as I say, he's 28 years of age. And the odd thing about him, if it is odd, I don't know whether it's odd or not, but he was born and reared in Belfast. There is at least one person in the audience tonight who wrote to us during the week, and she says that she's addicted to him, if you don't mind.
Addicted, Gay. Addicted to him.
Would you welcome, please, Kenneth Brannagh? There he is. That's a good intro, isn't it? Good intro, that. Boy, you are some operator, I'll say that for you. Signing your book tomorrow, premiere of Henry V later in the month, and directing John Sessions in the theatre. How close a connection do you maintain with Belfast, Kenneth?
Well, I've been there today, in fact. I've been visiting my granny this afternoon, and I've got a very strong emotional pull to the place. All my aunts and uncles, lots of cousins and relatives are over there. And my parents left, I left when I was 9, 10, but they left when they were 40, and so the kind of, whatever is imbued in me from them, I think is very much Belfast and Irish.
Why do they leave?
Well, it was a combination of things. My father had been working away in England from about 1967. He'd been coming back every weekend on the standby, every third weekend, and his work was taking him over there. As the trouble started, sort of 69, 70, started hotting up and reaching us, my mother was pregnant with my sister, and that was all getting very tense, and I think that it was difficult. Then we got the chance of a house in England, and the combination of, you know, him worrying about all of us in trouble troublesome Belfast, and the opportunity of work over there took us to Reading.
What'd your dad do?
Well, he was a joiner. He was apprenticed as a joiner to begin with, and he works in suspended ceilings and partitionings.
With the holy.
Yes.
Suspended ceilings, huh? Oh, darling things then.
Oh, they're tremendous things,
yeah, I was just about to say, that's not a Belfast accent you have there.
It is indeed. That's a wee while since I've been there, but it's still there. Not very far below the surface. Do you know what I mean? There's somebody out there from Belfast now.
There you are. That's very authentic, actually, right enough now. Go on, that's authentic, right enough. There was no performing background then in the family?
No, except the traditional Irish one. Everybody got up and danced and sang. My mother was a great dancer. Everybody sang and chatted. My father told jokes at all the kind of family get-togethers because there were so many brothers and sisters. My mum is one of 11. My father was one of 5. We were always visiting, and there were always excuses to sit around and tell stories, and as soon as a glass was in the hand, then somebody took it upon themselves to start singing. There was no formal theatrical thing. But
can you pinpoint a time when you suddenly switched on to theatre, films, movies, whatever, acting?
I was very interested from early on. I don't think I quite realised until I was about 16 it all fell together, but from early on I remember in Belfast watching things. I remember a film particularly, Burt Lancaster in The Birdman of Alcatraz. Do you ever see that film? Where he puts all those wee cages together, and Telly Savalas was in the next cell.
All those wee cages together, did you put them together? All those wee cages, yeah. That's right, wonderful performance. That turned you on, did it?
Well, I just thought he was so real in it. I just believed it so totally, and I used to watch all the credits. I couldn't believe all these people who were involved. It was like the credits at the beginning of your show, all the people behind the scenes, you know, that you don't see. And I used to wonder what people did, the makeup people, and I used to think, what is this thing, lightning? Because I always used to misread lighting for lightning. I used to just put all the names together and just think, what do they do? And when I was about 16 and I'd been in a school play, suddenly it all came together. I thought, that's why I was interested. And suddenly you've got all these names, and you think, I remember Telly Savalas was the cellmate in the cell next to Burt Lancaster, and wasn't he in that other thing? And now he's in Kojak. And suddenly you realise that once you've got a taste for acting, that the enthusiasm for all the other areas of it, of watching it and appreciating other people's works, just got kind of unleashed. And from about 16 onwards, I was a kind of voracious appetite for all of this.
When the veil drops away, it's a wonderful feeling,
it's a great
isn't it?
thing.
The total direction in your life from there on. What was your first paid performing role, can you recall?
First paid performing role was playing a Belfast boy, playing a character called Billy in some plays by Graham Reed, which turned out to be almost a kind of pensionable job for me. We did one every year for the first 4 years of my professional career. I got the job through an ad in the stage, and they wanted somebody who could do an authentic working-class Belfast accent.
And on television, your first one?
That was it. That was in fact on television. Yeah. And the next thing I did was in the theatre in a play called Another Country, which was a play about public schools. It was right the absolute opposite. And a funny thing for a boy from Belfast and who'd been to a comprehensive school in England to actually attempt. So I remember reading Tom Brown's School Days, dressing up in a striped blazer, wearing a funny old tie, and trying to speak like they did in those 1930s British films, terribly clipped, terribly much like that, and didn't fool anybody. I got stopped at the first hurdle.
Did you play a Magic Roundabout?
I played Dougal in a sensational production of the Magic Roundabout when I was 10 years old. Yes, it was my real theatrical debut, and it's played a large part of my life.
Well, you started, when you actually got going, you really started at the top in the West End in what, Another Country, was it? Yes, right, that was it. You really went into the top. But I have a clip of Pat O'Connor's directing you in A Month in the Country, which is a different thing. I'd like to show you that because we have an interest in that because he's one of our own and all of that, and a fine director. Roll it there, Roisin, please. This is Kenneth Brannagh in A Month in the Country. Stirring roll, this.
I've wanted it to happen. There were times when I just had enough. Well, you know that. So many had gone. Chaps I cared for. Sometimes it seemed like they were the lucky ones. Night's a bad time. No, I expect you've heard me. I still wake up screaming. And still see them. Still see. But I tell myself it'll get better as time passes and it sinks further back. But it's got nowhere to sink to, has it? can always be different, won't we? A whole lot of us, all the millions of us that survived, if millions did. Different, I mean, from the generations who went before who had no idea that anything like that could ever happen. I don't know if it's worse not having something to show for it, like a lost limb or two, or blindness. I mean, people like you and me, the intact ones. I'm a little bit round the bend, you know. Always will be, I expect. Still. No point in letting it get one down, eh? One has one's life to lead. And then he shall come with wounds red, eh? To damn the quick and the dead.
You got the military cross, didn't you? I saw it in your tent.
Memories of the obscenity of the First World War. Colin Firth didn't have much to do in that scene.
No, he had a lot of watching and listening to do.
Indeed, yeah. You're a cheeky devil to take on Henry V all the same, aren't you? I mean, after Sir Lawrence, Lord Restham.
Yes, indeed, who, of course, filmed the battle sequences in this very country, just down the road there. Yes, it's certainly a tough act to follow. But I think that nearly 50 years on, the opportunity to do a very, very different version of that particular piece was, as I thought about it, it was completely different. So I felt that it wasn't a question of trying to compete in any way, because it's a magnificent version, and what he did, especially with the battle sequence, which I say was shot here, is really unbeatable. A fantastic, wonderful charge at the beginning of the Battle of Agincourt, wonderful horses galloping across these Irish downs. It's unstoppable and unbeatable. And of course, we didn't have all those horses and all those men. We had a much smaller English army and far fewer horses.
But you starred in it opposite your wife. You directed it. You adapted it. It's a colossal workload.
Yeah.
And you brought it in, I understand, a day under schedule and under budget.
Yeah, we did. That was a combination of things. But I mean, Brian Blessed, who was in it, calls me actor, director, and right bloody know-it-all, which may indicate what you're talking about. But it was just a combination of things that allowed that to happen. I mean, I was working with a lot of people I'd worked with before. It wasn't just jobs for the boys, but there was a kind of rapport. I'd worked with Blessed before. The lighting cameraman, Ken McMillan, who shot Month in the Country, Pat O'Connor's film, shot Henry V, and Tim Harvey, who designed Fortunes of War on television for me, also designed it. Judi Dench, Derek Jacobi, who directed the shows that came here last year.
Fabulous.
They were all in it. And that helped tremendously, because not only are they tremendously experienced and they're very confident actors, but there was a kind of rapport there that meant that we could achieve things reasonably swiftly. And on the whole, people gave me credit for a bit of sense and at least listened to me. Because I'd played the part before with the Royal Shakespeare Company, I had a kind of instinct about the play and about and how to do it. And then the actual process of filming, which I was, as a director, unfamiliar with, people were prepared to take a bit of a chance with. Also, I mean, because I was relatively inexperienced, I think they had more chance of an input than they might normally do on another movie, because most of the time I'd say, well, I'd like the camera to do this and come in there, but how do I do it? And could you tell me how? Because there was no point in me saying, I'll have a 2-3-1 lens there, and then you come down and put a bit of gel on that, and a filter there. I mean, I didn't know all that lingo. But they, as I say, met me halfway, and on the whole, didn't take that.
It's amazing how you can draw people out to help you. But it was a colossal undertaking, and you must be remarkably good at business as well, because it's such a tricky business, raising money for a movie and then doing it and bringing it under budget and a day under schedule.
Well, it's a combination of things. I think I've got a good instinctive feel for at least trying to hold on to it for a bit, money, but it's not really where my interest lies. I mean, I know in broad terms what's happening, but I had a very terrific two partners, David Parford, who helped me start the Renaissance Theatre Company, who's the co-director of that, and a fellow called Stephen Evans, who really was, he's a freelance stockbroker, and he came on board, and he was the one really who met me halfway and said, do you want to make a film film of Henry V? You think you can do it? Have you directed before? No. Have you adapted a screenplay before? No. Do you still think you can do it? Yes. Right, okay, then I think I can find you £4.5 million. All right, thank you very much. I'll shake your hands, yes. Okay, when can you write me a cheque?
Great, well, let's have a look at a snip of it now, because it's opening in London on Thursday. Very nervous, nerve-wracking period for you, and then coming to Dublin at the end of October.
That's right.
Roll it there, Roisin, again, please. This is part of his direction in Henry V.
Once more into the breach, dear friends! Once more! Or close the wall up with our English dead! In peace, there's nothing so becomes a man as modest stillness and humility. But when the blast of war blows in our ears, then imitate the action of the tiger. Stiffen the sinews, summon up the blood, disguise fair nature with hard-favoured rage. Then lend the eye a terrible aspect. Let it pry through the portage of the head like the brass cannon. Let the brow o'erwhelm it as fearfully as doth a galled rock, or hang and jutty his confounded base, swelled with a wild and wasteful ocean. Now set the teeth and stretch the nostril wide, hold hard the breath and bend up every spirit to his full height. On, you noblest England! Dishonour not your mothers. Now attest that those whom you call fathers did beget you, and you, good yeoman, whose limbs were made in England, show us here the mettle of your pasture. Let us swear that you are worth your breeding, which I doubt not, for there is none of you so mean and base that hath not noble lustre in your eyes. I see you stand like greyhounds in the slips, straining upon the start. The game's afoot. Follow your spirit, and upon this charge, cry God for Harry, England, and St. George!
Rabble-rouser. Rabble-rouser. You played that speech very much faster than Larry.
Yes, I'll tell you the thing about that, actually. I was on a horse called Trianon there, and because the insurance people were very worried about me coming off the horse, because obviously if I injured myself, they lost the director and they lost the actor at the same time. So they're a bit concerned about that. And so we were going to have a double do all that rearing up, because obviously if you rear up, you might fall off. And in fact, on both occasions, I simply pulled on the reins too hard, and also made this was a horse that was so sensitive to noise that you did that, and it got up on its back legs. And several people around the horse while I was there, as well as me doing that, were doing that as well. So that at the end of both those bits, it reared up, and all the producers around. But in fact, it meant we didn't have to use a double.
But you stayed on.
I stayed on, just about. Yes, right. Yes. I thought I got £4.5 million riding on this. I can't fall off. Get in there.
Well done. There's a preview of Henry V in the Savoy in Dublin tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, and it's open to the public. They'll be rushed. They'll be rushed. I just was asked to pass that on to you. Yes, much faster than Larry.
Yes, well, the thing that I suppose that's one of the differences between the films is really to do with reflecting certain acting styles, and also the way we chose to tell the story. It seemed to me that I wanted to play that speech as if it was a very passionate, absolutely in the midst of a battle, once more into the breach, get back in there. You've got to get back in there. We haven't won yet. And instead of a kind of quiet lull where he quietly drummed up the sort of enthusiasm, as simple as that. It's a difference of interpretation.
Yes, that scene in his movie was much quieter. Far quieter. They were rather in the doldrums at that stage, were they?
Yeah.
Line 3, Johnny, you say. Hello, line 3. Hello, line 3.
Hello, Gay.
Yes, sir.
I just want to know, ask Mr. Brannagh, a man who I appreciate and respect gratefully for his professionalism.
And he recognised your accent too, so he will.
Yes, I'm sure he will, hopefully. And I really appreciated him through his trilogy of Billy plays. And I just wanted to know, does he feel or appreciate that the fact that he is Irish has helped him through his professional career?
Yes, I think it has. It has very much, and I was blessed. It's funny you should mention the Billy trilogy. It was the very first job I did, and it was, in a sense, the part of the reason why there were 4 plays that were produced there was because up in BBC Ulster, there was a unique feeling, a unique atmosphere about those plays, and the group of people, the cast led by Jimmy Ellis, the kids who were involved, Breeze Brennan, wonderful Irish actress, all together working. It was a really unique combination. It was a sort of family atmosphere, and it was unlike anything I've ever done on television since, really, and it bred the confidence that produced the will to do the other plays, and it gave me a wonderful start, having somebody like Jimmy Ellis, as it were, be your mentor for a few plays, and it created a wonderful family atmosphere, and I think that was a particular quality of Irishness that helped that happen. So it was a great
Thanks for the
privilege.
call, caller.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You obviously can't keep going at this pace. Do you bite your nails, by the way?
I do bite my nails, yes, but I don't
Not
smoke and don't drink.
Well done.
That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
You're sticking to it. Yeah, you can't keep going at this pace.
I can't, no. I've been running around with my tail between my legs, I suppose. It's just, I think, when you start things off like the theatre company, and then the possibility, and it's a wonderful luxury, it's a wonderful privilege to have the possibility of maybe doing a film like that. I think you have a responsibility, if you're fit and well, and you can do it without walking all over other people, to try and embrace it, but you can only do it for a bit, and I hope that maybe this and the theatre company's work will maybe give us the chance to do, and particularly me, one thing at a time, and maybe just have a little bit more air breathing around what we do.
You're an old married man now, too. You'll have to settle down. So, Kenny,
Yes.
how's the new wife treating, by the way?
Very well. She's away earning us an honest penny at the moment.
That's the way to have it, Kenny.
Absolutely.
Stick to that. Stick to that. When you're here, as long as they're away, earn. Yes, line 4. How do you do?
And I was just wondering, did he ever want to be anything other than an actor?
Well, I've tried my hand at directing and doing a bit of writing, but I think I enjoy acting very much, and the more acting I do, the more difficult I find it, but the more challenging I find it as well. So I think that's basically what I shall remain, and from time to time I'll dip my toe in the water of other activities.
Yes.
But your job's safe.
Hollywood?
Hollywood, well, who knows? I mean, there seems to be a little bit of interest over there about all this, and I've talked to a lot of people, so maybe one will go over there as an actor. It would be nice. I'd like to earn a bit of money for a change. That would be nice.
Why, you're not earning money now?
Well, it's just, oh, well, I don't. When you're doing it for yourself, you see, you've got to keep your price down in order to keep. That's one of the reasons we came in under budget. You see, guys.
That's right. Well, where's the signing tomorrow? Where are you signing?
Signings at Waterston.
Yes. And how are you coping with being the sex symbol?
Sex symbol? Well, I haven't found too much trouble.
Come off, that you know very well. Here, I have it. Where's Ruth Kelleher? Where's Ruth? Is she here? Come over with me, Kenneth. Come over with me. This is the young lady who wrote to us and said that she was addicted to you. Really? Addicted to you. Hello, Ruth. Now, say hello to your addiction there, Ruth. Say, how do you do, Mr. Brannagh? Or even Kenneth. There you are. Addicted to you, she is. You admire his acting skill, do you? And all the things he does. Very good. What do you like him in Fortunes of War?
Well, I went to see him in Hamlet in July, yeah.
Really?
It was amazing.
Yeah.
No. And, well, I've seen him most things since then. And I'm going to the Savoy tomorrow.
Are you? Great.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. I hope you enjoy it.
Great. Are you into acting at all yourself, no?
No. It was just that we did Hamlet in the Leaving, and I just completed the Leaving, and it was such an amazing play, and it was coming up, so I went along,
Do you do a bit of Hamlet for us?
But if how old crikey? To be or not to be, that is the question. That's the famous one. I bet you know that one, don't you?
A bit, yes. Yes.
Go on, you can finish.
No. You wouldn't risk it, no?
I wouldn't, no.
Wouldn't risk it.
I'm a standing start.
Okay, well, good luck to you, Kenneth. Thank you very much indeed for joining us on The Late Show. You're very welcome. Good luck with everything you do. You're signing where? Waterston. Tomorrow morning, is it? Tomorrow morning. 1 o'clock. Waterston's tomorrow morning. Waterston's tomorrow at 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock you're signing with me. Good luck to you. Thanks very much for joining us. Thank you. There you are. World of politics. A week is a long time. 15 years must be an eternity. My next guest is